the movie making class proudly presents 10 movies. Maybe kind of record. And well, actually it's 9 plus 1 because 1 is still in the oven. Hopefully it will finish exporting for us to see it by the end. And in the first block of movies, I want to introduce the first one because it's a very special movie that you should think about not trusting people with cameras in the they have a lot of power, and they will show it in this first video how much power movie makers actually have.
Sorry,
So, how was your first sexual experience at ITC?
I was glad that something new was about to start. I was a bit bored, so I was very positive. I had some good expectations, so I thought it was pretty good. Again, I didn't know what to expect, so I kind of happily surprised actually. It was clean, it was nice, quite chaotic, but in a very positive sense. I remember the first few days, going to bed at night was very, very difficult. There were so many things going on. I'm taking a step out into another world. It was very fun.
Who were you with?
I think Cecilia
And Jason also.
It was Josephina. It was nice because I didn't know her. So nice.
It was weird.
Were there more people involved?
And then there was like Nicholas as well. And Waldo.
Maybe we could. Yes, at lunchtime. What was your first impression of your partner or partners?
I thought it was really great, and I laughed a lot, and I danced with him a lot. Good. He was very energetic, and and asked all questions. And
I don't remember the exact details, but I remember we met, we shook hands, and we realized both were nice.
he was a cool dude.
And, we realized we were pretty similar to each other, which was cool. And and then we became lovers.
Where did it happen? Party room, I think. Because I like party and I thought maybe the two of us in the dining hall.
I think the library actually. It was really cool. Like it was in the basement, really cozy and stuff. The cozy room.
Why is it crazy?
It's nice, and there's you can go there and be sure that no one else comes. It's a nice place if you just want to be with someone.
Oh yes, we drank. We had a small party. Yeah, it was Francesco's birthday or something. We drank together and had fun.
Well, I went to bed at around 10, I think, but me and Tristan ended up 2 hours.
How did it make you feel?
Oh God,
Amazing.
Love you, Nico. Love you, Tristan.
The community and to the development of the entire nation. Kuku is a village in the northern part of Ghana. Kuku is a community with a high literacy rate. Many children, most often in poor homes and most often orphans, are not in school due to lack of affordability. Children between the ages of 6 and 17 are forced to move to the capital city where they work for their families. Girls generally carry goods such as kayai, while boys become scrap dealers who burn electronic gadgets to get copper, thus polluting the environment. The effects of these problems are increased crime in the slum areas where these young ones reside in the big cities, inhalation of lead resulting in mental challenges. Most girls got impregnated at the age of 13 and 17 years without knowing who is responsible, and so on. We have a module kindergarten school. The kids are basically orphans and from the poor homes, hence no payment of school fees is required to get these kids to our school, as parents of these kids cannot even afford to meet the expenses of education. The school is run financially through individual and organizational benevolent donations, either in kind or cash.
We are always happy to receive help from volunteers. We have already hosted many volunteers from different countries and made them experience Ghana in a different way. If you want to join us, please contact us through our Facebook page, Youth Action on Development.
I think I'm gonna go to sleep now.
But there are so many good TV shows to see.
Sleep? Starting your app?
I'm not gonna be comfortable.
What is the meaning of life?
It's too hot and too cold.
Oh, you said to be louder? Okay! Time for itchies! Hey!
On the wheel, I made some bolts, and it was at the beginning very hard because the clay controls him and you can't control the clay. But then you learn it, and after a few bolts you know how to do it, and actually at the end you really can form a nice bowl, and it's cool. It makes a lot of fun, and I did it because you can't do it at home, and here I have the opportunity to do it. So I tried it, and it was so much fun, so that I did it the whole term.
In this class I made an elephant drawing with Chinese ink, normal ink and apparels, and I was inspired by African culture in it. But this elephant is Indian, so it doesn't match, but that was my inspiration.
Wow, this is a very nice drawing. I think it looks exactly like an elephant. I am a bit skeptical about the color because we don't have a green elephant or this kind of mixture of colors of an elephant. I think this reveals that the artist might have not seen live elephant before.
I made 2 storage chairs and 1 wall bookshelf. I was working as an architect in Japan. From the start, I liked furniture. So I was so excited in this class. Of course, I will donate these furnitures to the cafe. I hope to be used these furnitures for a long time.
I knitted a bag in arts and crafts out of old t-shirts, and I was inspired by Franzi, who made something just with 1 needle in the first 12 weeks. And I really wanted to knit, so Katrine asked me what I wanted to do in the beginning, and I said that I really wanted to knit, so I took old t-shirts from the second-hand shop and cut them in a separate way, and then I knitted them together, and it's now 9 t-shirts in total, so a very heavy bag, and I think it's maybe good to put laundry in it or something.
The bag is very nice, a mixture of colors, and it looks very heavy, but the only problem is it becomes difficult when you put things into it, and you have to like hold it and walk for like 100 meters or 200 meters. Then you probably have to carry it on your head like most African countries will do. So it lacks like a handle for holding, and quite apart from that, I think it's good.
I made this teacups for me and my wife. The large one is mine, and the smaller one is for my wife. In Japanese, the traditional way of thinking, wife follow her husband, and wife should obey her husband. So everything is husband is first and wife is second. But now it isn't, especially for our family. Large one is my wife, and smaller one is mine. My family is reversed from ordinary Japanese husband and wife.
Thank you very much, filmmakers. It's amazing. And also, of course, the arts and crafts class. You can see all the wonderful things exhibited here. We'll come back to that just before the break. Now it's time for creative writing. Maya.
Yes, so tonight you're going to hear from 4 different people from the creative writing class. And of course that's a small sample of what is in the magazine. And we'll be selling the magazine from the first half. We've got a few copies of the magazine from the first half of the term. And of course, more copies from the second half of the term. And yeah, it was a very special experience working with both of these classes. And in both those magazines, each writer has shared a part of themselves. And I really, really recommend you getting it. The price for the magazine starts from 5 krona. But you're welcome to contribute more. Because everything that we raise will go to the project that Osman works on in Ghana. So what you saw the video for, Youth Action on Development. So please feel generous. 5 krona, but up to as much as you want. So the first writer who's going to read for us is Flora, and then after her, we'll hear from Toshi.
Morning. Your fingers touch questions on my skin that shiver into my sides. Living life and realizing my doubts, I dare to want a remarkable extraordinary. Curtains observe another fragile morning. The flowers smell me for a moment of love. Somewhere in a bathroom of mine and yours, there is joy playing with us. Don't create pretended colors. The rainbow wants authenticity. Travel with my lips to something unrepeatable.
In the forest, deep white concealed all around. Somewhere birds are chirping, murmuring of a brook. I step forward firmly in the fog. Early morning in the forest. I'm a lonely traveler. I make it a habit to take a walk at dawn. I found a good place at IBC. That's a cottage area, full of colors, full of taste, full of flowers, full of nature. I wander into a fairy tale world. I stand on a green hill filled with flowers in bloom. Looking over the small lake, I breathe deep slowly and start physical exercise. Down the hill, a lovely forest spreads. I love this forest. Smell of the trees and fresh air in the forest feel terrific. Cooling down a bit sweaty body, I walk in the forest on my way back. I was 12 years old when I put up the first and greatest resistance against my father, I remember. Then my father was a policeman. Transfer accompanies this job. So my family moved this way and that. Also, I had to change school every time my father transferred. However, this time was different. I didn't want to change the school by any means. I experienced hard bullying when I came to this school first. Maybe the urban atmosphere I brought from my former school badly loved the simple honesty of rural kids the wrong way. I struggled to make friends relationships with them and found a good friend. He understood me and was highly trusted by classmates. Through the mediation of him, I could finally deepen friendships with other classmates. The 2 years I spent at that school were the most memorable days in my school days. In spite of that, when I was expected to finish school in only a few months, Father said, I had to change school again. I made a barricade at the door of my room. I resisted completely, but I know it would end up in vain. I felt sad and lonely. I sang songs in my room every day. Lovely school songs and memorable songs I sang along with my friends. That's all I could do is resist. I couldn't hold back my tears. Concerned about me, the classroom teacher came to my house again and again. The last day before our family moved, there was a long talk and persuasion between the teachers and my parents. I didn't know what they were talking about. Finally, I was called by the teacher. Suppose somebody let you live with them. Can you stay with them till you finish school separated from your family? Asked the teacher. Really? Somebody? Who? Of course I can, I answered. Somebody was that teacher. So I became a dependent of the teacher's family, and my last few months were started. Now I deeply appreciate that teacher, Mr. T. He rescued his student with all his effort when his student was distressed most. That was a real teacher, I believe. Strangely, I got the same job of a teacher. This belief became my principle throughout my career. I was an obedient boy in my childhood. I can say I was brought up by invisible hand of my father. Of course, I was not compelled or directed to do something. I felt I made a choice and decided myself at that time. But now, I feel like it all happened in my father's hand. Within my father's hand, I didn't within my father's hand, I didn't experience a big failure. But now I doubt, is that truly good for children? Of course, I have expectation for my children as a parent. But it should be decided by children what kind of trees they grow up to be. Duty of parents is to make a good soil, give water, and let them bathe in full sun, I think. After doing that, parents only keep an eye on the
growth.
After doing that, parents only keep an eye on the growth of their children, worrying about them. Now, I am 69 years old. I don't think it's happy living long without doing anything. Life is not result but process, I think. It matters how he or she lived, not what result he or she got. I would like to create my new worlds throwing away my stereotypes. By learning English as a common language, I want to exchange with different people. Then I could see myself and Japan relatively in the diversity of different cultures. Hopefully, I would like to be a help to build up Japan as a peace country that never makes a war again. The fog is getting clear. The only way in the forest. So many flowers blooming all around. White, blue, yellow, dewy grasses shining in the sun. I passed by the lake. Something like azalea, I suppose. Vivid pink in fresh green comes into my view. Destination is near.